Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your mayor, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by my co-mayor, Sergio. Welcome to our special Pre-E3 episode, or Pre-3 episode. Today, we are celebrating the 5th North American anniversary of New Leaf, and we're going in-depth on our E3 predictions. And hi, Sergio. Everyone, this is Sergio. You all know him. You love the guy.
Hello, Chewy. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for laughing at my Pre-3.
That was golden.
You have to say it a little longer, though, because it's two E's.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-3. So, yeah, I've been really excited about this one. One, because here's the proof that we've been waiting a long time for a new Animal Crossing game.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5 years. Just this past Saturday, it was June 9th once again, and June 9th I remember for two things. The day Animal Crossing came out, and the day I got rear-ended on my way home trying to play Animal Crossing. So that it was like a literal roadblock for me to get home to play this game.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I just wanted to start out really quick to give everybody a reminder, because this is Monday. Usually these episodes come out Tuesdays, but just as a reminder, this is our pre-E3 show, so tomorrow we're going to be having a live podcast recording. And if you want to be part of that, if you want to be in the audience for that show, please join the Discord. There's a link in the description of this podcast wherever you're listening to it. Follow it now and join us on Discord, because it's been so much fun having everybody there. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The past ones have been great, and, we're been perfecting the system, and it's awesome to get instant feedback and read everyone's comments and just go along with it. It's a lot of fun. So we definitely encourage you to everybody to be there.
Yeah, and if you listened to last week's episode, that was a live recorded episode, so I thought that was a lot of fun. It definitely went long, because I think just everybody was having a good time, and they didn't really want us to stop. After that recording, we actually stayed on for like another 30 minutes just chatting, so it was a really fun time. So yeah, once again, tomorrow there will be another show. It's going to be recorded live. If you miss it, or if you choose to go some other place for a live show during E3, completely fine.
Right.
There will be a recording of this up that day. So tomorrow by evening time, we will have this up. I don't know how quickly the RSS feeds refresh, but I'm going to try to have it up on iTunes and other podcasting services as soon as possible. So wherever you're listening, YouTube is also a good place to go. It'll be up there immediately. So, and then SoundCloud. Those two are the fastest. And then after that, it gets a little bit slower just because I don't know how people set up their machines to read RSS feeds, but they do. And it takes a little bit of time. But be on the lookout if you miss this, because it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm so excited.
Right. You're getting a double dose of Haken back to back, and hopefully with a lot of good news, good stuff.
Yeah, and it's been a real busy week for us getting all of this ready, and finishing up that is it time for Animal Crossing Switch? So it's been busy, but it's been so much Animal Crossing, and that's how much I need in my life.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of Animal Crossing and it being in our lives, we are celebrating New Leaf. Early on in this podcast, we celebrated the 5-year anniversary of Animal Crossing in Japan, because for them it came out in 2012. Was it November 2012?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, then that's when it came out. But for us, we had to wait over 6 months, like it was 7 months for it to come to the US. And I think Europe got it even later than that. So
yes, right.
It's quite a wait. But for us, it is here, the 5th anniversary. The game has been out for 5 years, and they haven't given us a new one. So this is what we're going to talk about.
Right. No, we haven't had a new one. There's no official news on the new one. Everything is sort of lining up for something good next week or tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be a whole. I I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I see Animal Crossing, I'm gonna just be freaking out. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna look at it and it's gonna be beautiful. That's all I'm imagining. Just the most beautiful Animal Crossing I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
As you can all tell, I've got my hopes up. But anyway, so on our Discord, just another reason for you all to join the Discord, we actually asked our members to leave some comments, some pretty quick comments about things they loved about Animal Crossing New Leaf. Just one short little thing. So we're going to go through those. We're going to give you our own answers about something we found very special in New Leaf. And yeah, that'll be our first part of the show. So I guess, do you want to get started, Sergio? What do you love about New Leaf?
Oh man, there's so many things, but if we have to be specific, and I've talked on the show on the past about, for example, how much I enjoy the fact that the game allows you to walk barefoot, or about the public works and that you're mayor. But one thing that I haven't mentioned and that may be overlooked, and sometimes I forget about it too, is the ability and the ease of taking screenshots. You would just press L and R, and there you go. You have a screenshot slash photograph. It depends on how you see your time in New Leaf. For me, New Leaf was like a vacation. I loved it so much. I did take my work vacation for it the first 2 weeks, and then after that, even though I was still working, I would come back to New Leaf, and I would be on vacation again. So
Yeah.
I definitely loved the fact that you could take screenshots. I took a lot. I actually had a 64 gigabit SD card, and I had to empty it twice because I filled it up with photos. Eventually, I just got a 128 gigabit. But yeah, it's all because I knew I was gonna do a photo album in the end, and just recording all your memories, recording every time you do a public work project or when you get a new villager. It's all there. It's all recorded. I love that, and I cannot wait to take even more photographs in the next game.
Yeah, and I've got to say that that whole feature, before then, I don't think there was a single game on 3DS that just like easily let us take a screenshot of anything
Right.
going on your screen, you know? And so when I first started using that, I was just like, I wish I could do this for all of my games and
True.
just press L and R and take a picture of something that was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really glad because I feel like this, I'm sure Nintendo got some really positive feedback about this feature because now the Switch has that easy screen cap button that works
Yes.
on any game. And then if you hold it, you record some, just the past 30 seconds,
Right.
which I use so much. I'm sure I should probably empty out and post some of the pictures and videos I've been taking, but that's impressive that you filled 64 gigabytes twice.
Right.
I didn't even, so I thought 32 gigabytes was what was compatible with the 3DS, though.
No, if you're able to format the SD card to the format that it likes, you can put up to 56 gigabyte.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea because I just went with the 32 and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
If it fulfilled my needs. I guess I didn't take as many screenshots as you.
Right.
Um, but yeah. I guess for me, my answer, mine's weird. Um, so I really like lamp posts. I think they're nice. I think they look great on a sidewalk, and I just wanted to fill my town with like lit up sidewalks,
Yes. Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
So I wanted to put lamps across my entire town. And then I found out there was a limit. I quickly found out there was a limit to how many public works projects you could make because right away I made this really fancy road in my town that had like 3 lanes and lampposts all over it. I don't know. But in the process of making that, I ran out of ability to make more public works. So I hope they increase that limit by a lot.
Yes,
Um,
yes, or no. I mean, hopefully no
yeah.
limit, but there's got to be a limit.
Yeah, I mean, preferably I'd like it to have no limit too, because it would just be really fun to, um, yeah, I just want lampposts all over my town. I want my streets to be so safe in the dark, in the night. And
It's gonna be daytime in the streets, no matter even
yeah,
if it's nighttime.
it makes it feel so cozy. Yeah, so like I said, mine's weird. This is my comment about something I loved about Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Yeah, yeah,
So let's go ahead and get into our Discord ones. Maybe we can switch off, go back and forth a bit.
sure.
So Infinite Mallet, one of our patrons on Patreon, they said being able to get being able to get a coffee to go and then sitting on a bench that I personally placed as a public works project to relax and drink the coffee. I
Yes,
love that.
yes. Did you do the same thing? I did. I put the log bench right in front of the coffee shop.
Yeah, I think I put the metal bench, that like green metal one.
Yes, right,
Yeah, I think that one had a cute feel. The log one's really cute too. But mine is also just right in front of my coffee
right.
shop.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so I love that. I would do the same.
Yep, yep, yep. Then we have Dragonflame323, and his comment is, "Working on the holiday events with a friend was the fondest memory."
I like that too. I don't think I've done an event with a friend.
No, I'm thinking of which one it could have been.
Yeah.
Maybe Thanksgiving or Halloween.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh,
Maybe
you know what?
we'll.
I wonder if during the snowy season, if you can roll the snowmen together.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. I
Yeah.
have a feeling though, like the snowballs don't show up if somebody else is in
Ah,
your
yes.
town. I think that was an issue. Yeah, I don't know. I never did an event with somebody, but I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Jeslyn, another patron. Oh, Dragonflame was also a patron.
Yes.
But Jeslyn said, I just love the game in general. New Leaf was my first Animal Crossing game, and I quickly got super obsessed playing it when I got it. I liked all the activities, decorating my house, and building up my town. I know this is not really the answer you were looking for. No, I think that's great. I think it's great, Jeslyn. Building up my town, that's amazing to me. Because what I love about Animal Crossing New Leaf is you're kind of thrown into it and it's not fully developed yet. Whereas past Animal Crossing games kind of are, at least in the sense of like all the shops are already available, you know.
Yes. Right.
Um, Everything's already open, but like I liked being able to build up the town and feel like, oh, this is here because I played the game and
Yes.
I made some progress and now it's a big town now.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
It rewards you for playing consistently.
yeah, and that's what's great about it because you look back. I always say when you play for a month and then you look back and you're like, wow, look at everything I've done in this month. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. And the game keeps track of it all for your history for future record.
Yeah.
Then we have Poke Trainer Jiro or Joe, another one of our patrons. His comment is, "I love customizing furniture with your own designs. I hope that hasn't already been said." And no, it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's great too. Customization in general is awesome. That's a totally new thing that we got in this one too.
Yes.
Um, Man, I love it. New Leaf did so much.
Right. You could customize your furniture. You could put whatever texture you wanted, or you could just change the color with the special ore that you could get. And I mean, they definitely added a lot of it. We still want more customization features, but it was a great start for the feature.
Yeah, they definitely did a great job starting it out, and I totally expect them to just like grow it as
Yes.
much as possible.
Right.
Um, King of Red Lions said, "When the clock strikes 5 p.m." This one's special to me. That's my favorite track
Oh yeah.
in Animal Crossing, 5 p.m. If you don't remember it, go ahead, take a listen. It's soothing.
Yes, it is amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
you just get out of work, you
yes,
go
that's it.
sit down.
You got it.
And it's that jam that gets you right into relaxation.
Right, right. And depending on no, actually, most of the time it was just sunset, and you would just go back to town and everything was still open and love it.
It's so good.
Next, we have Brandon Bro Hicks, and he says, being able to play Animal Crossing on the go. Also, 8 p.m. It's the perfect song for wrapping up the day and reflecting on what happened. That's a really good one, too.
Yeah, 8 p.m. It's kind of got that like title theme in it,
Yes, but
which
it's
is
sort
very
of,
nice.
yeah, it's sort of, like nighttime, mellow down, but you recognize the theme.
hmm And then, yeah, playing it on the go again. We got that on the DS, which I was very happy for because at that point in my life, like, when you're a kid, you go on family vacations and stuff. So we'd go to Mexico, and I was like, oh, I have an Animal Crossing game that I can take with me and play every day.
Right.
So I like that a lot. And then we've got Dakota who said, Def being able to customize my person. I'm assuming it's like with all the hairstyles and, just the clothing and what else can we? Oh,
Right.
the pants and shoes are
Yes.
definitely like the new thing. Yeah, we got the bigger characters in New Leaf,
Yes. Right.
and that has only let us get more stylish.
Yes. Finally. Right.
Yeah, because we were still kind of chibi characters and city folk, and we couldn't change our shorts.
Right. 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 Next, we have Diana, and her comment is the vibe and overall atmosphere of the game reinforced by the music. It put me in such a chill mood just by walking around my town.
Yeah, that's nice. They keep perfecting this more and more because I feel like Animal Crossing is a game where they're just trying to give you the most relaxed experience,
Yes.
and they get better each time, each iteration of the game.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure you probably did, and also many of the listeners. Animal Crossing is perfect for playing while listening to a podcast. Even though it's music, it's awesome on its own, but it's so relaxing and there's nothing too demanding going on that you can just listen in and still play and have a good time doing both things.
Yeah, it's really you get so many different experiences while playing the game. Clementine says, exploring people's towns through the Dream Town system and seeing so much creativity. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that because this is also a new feature. And I think this worked really well because, like, your Dream Town, people can visit. And if they mess things up, it doesn't actually mess anything up because it's
Yes.
just a dream. But in the meantime, like, you could see a lot of the cool things people were doing with their towns.
Yes, yes, and I always think of this feature, and I regret not playing it or taking advantage of it as much as I should have, because every time I would actually do it, it was a lot of fun, like you said.
Yeah.
Next, we have Mount Samzi, and he says, "I love the fact you are major in New Leaf," and that's true. That opened up so many features that the previous Animal Crossing games didn't have. Yeah, being major was awesome. It has to stay in one way or another.
Yeah, and what I've got, a lot of people don't remember this so much, but I was remembering this the other day. But when New Leaf was coming out, people had kind of felt like the formula for Animal Crossing had gotten stale.
Hmm.
Like they got GameCube, they got Wild World, and then City Folk was after that. And I think City Folk was what kind of made it feel stale because it was just like a reiteration of Wild World
Yes, right.
with some good updates. I think it was the better game overall. Um, but people really enjoyed it being like handheld, right? And so at that point, like New Leaf was coming out, and I remember seeing a lot of like critique of the game, just feeling like, oh, you kind of do the same thing, pay off your house, get clothes, get furniture, and yeah, you're always doing those things, but like adding that mayor feature to the game was something that really changed it up for a lot of people.
Yes, I think if anything warrants the new leaf moniker. I think it's the fact that you're mayor. That was the greatest new feature.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is an integral part of like imagining like what else can you do in the world. And I think even Happy Home Designer captured that where they're like, "Oh, in this one your role is just like being this worker at this design company, you know?
Right.
And you're just designing people's homes." And I'm like, "That's pretty cool. Like if we had a whole job system introduced to the game, it'd be pretty neat."
Yeah, that'll be that'll be one of the popular ones for sure.
Yeah, it just has to be smooth because you know it has to keep that very relaxed gameplay
Yes,
to
yes.
it that we all love. Ruby Crimson said the public works projects, another
Yes.
product of being mayor. I love this. I really want them to like increase how many we can leave, where we can place them. Just let us do whatever we want with these
Yes, yes,
towns.
and then customize them too.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because I really liked Cyborg Jiro came to my town yesterday or the other day,
Mhm.
and he mentioned that he liked my Japanese style train station, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I love that you can do the different styles of train stations and the town hall. You know,
Yes.
you got the modern style, the Japanese style, and then just the regular one,
Yes.
right? They should grow that for sure.
Oh yes, every in all the stores, all the environments, everything, everything.
Yeah, and Happy Home Designer kind of had that too, because you could pick the different styles for the buildings you were making,
Yes, right,
and so that was awesome.
right. Next we have Cam, and he says, "I love collecting all the furniture and clothing," and this is true. You know, as being a true new Animal Crossing game, it introduced more clothing, more items, more things to collect and keep track of. And thankfully, we had not only the in-game catalog but also the guide that you could purchase, and even there's an app, right, that you yourself use to keep track of your items.
Yeah, there are a lot of different apps. I got mine kind of late into the game, and so actually like getting the app to a point where it was usable for me took some time
Oh,
because I had to go into the Nook store, look at the computer there to see what was on my catalog,
yes.
and then I just like manually went through everything and checked it off on the app.
Oh, yeah.
But then at that point, I had a good idea of everything I had.
Yes, right.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this game, and like I said, like they added shoes and pants,
Yes,
and that
right.
alone grew the clothing selection so much.
Right. That's a good point.
So V said, just a little personal thing. I remember getting New Leaf years after not playing Wild World, even though I loved it. And I wasn't able to play it until I finished my exams. After a torturous 2 weeks of having the game on my bedside table, I finished my exams and played it for the first time and saw how different the graphics were and how you could customize so many things and so many new events and shops and animals. I loved it immediately.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a great story. And that must have been the hardest thing to do.
Oh yes, we commend you. V. And imagine going from Wild World and skipping City Folk, which did up the graphic game a little bit, and going from WW to New Leaf. That must have been awesome.
Yeah. And then you know what people don't talk about too much is like, this game's on the 3DS. The 3D for New Leaf looks so good.
Oh yes,
I don't always play with it on because the older 3DS model, the 3D wasn't as smooth.
that's right.
You kind of had to look at it at the right angle for it to work. But on the new 3DS, like that's fixed up and it looks pretty nice.
Right now it's super stable.
Yeah.
Next we have Air Apocalypse. She says, "Well, since New Leaf was my first Animal Crossing game to have played, I love the freedom it gave the player base. Running/designing your town as mayor and also being able to place different public work projects around the town was a nice touch. I also like getting to know all of my different villagers, the ones who I forced to stay and the ones I've let go. Also, being able to play island games with my friends was a blast." Yeah,
I
everything here is awesome.
Yeah, this is all really great. I want to point out the island
Yes.
stuff. I love this because there's so many things in New Leaf that I feel like, though the game was itself turning a new leaf,
Hmm.
by adding the mayor role and everything,
Hmm.
there are a lot of really nice callbacks to that original game. And the island was one of those, I feel.
Yes.
Because we got an island in the GameCube one. If you managed to get one of those Game Boy Advance to GameCube adapters,
Right.
you were able to go visit an island. And there you got your own little island cabin that most people used for extra storage
Yes.
space because you were limited in that game. um, so yeah, you got your more storage space, but you also got like a special islander villager who was always awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was the only way to like get coconuts on your town.
Right. Yes, that's correct.
But yeah, having the island in New Leaf was a nice little touch that made me feel nostalgic as well as feeling like, wow, this is new and cool.
Yes, right, right. It's the new and bringing in the classic, and also agreeing with Air Apocalypse about just the villagers. There's so many returning ones. There's so many new ones. We have 10, which is not the most, but it was more than in Wild War, and I want to say more than in City Folk.
I think City Folk actually had 10 as well.
Okay.
It might have been 12, but it might be 12. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean 10. I want 15 or more, but ten was
Yes.
good. You know.
Yeah, 15, just like that first Animal Crossing, which surprisingly has still had the biggest town map out of all of them.
Right. Yeah. I'm checking my notes, and City Folk had 10. Wild War had 8.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so 10.
10.
Yeah, give me 15. I want so many villagers in my
Yes.
town. And then finally, Amanda, who's been going by Isabel on the Discord, says the amount of fish and bugs the game has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention, like, we didn't have, like, the diving creatures in past
Oh,
games.
that's right.
So that was a completely new thing. We couldn't swim
No.
at all. So now we have this whole new set of creatures. I haven't even thought of that. Like, how are they going to. Because the diving creatures are the ones that the game has the least of. Like, there are more fish and bugs than diving creatures.
Yes.
Um, so I'm kind of now wondering, like, what is the swimming going to be like in this next Animal Crossing game?
You
It should be
probably
pretty
you probably
awesome.
heard me gasp. I was thinking, what if they let us just go full on underwater, and just explore?
Amazing. Like
Oh,
scuba gear?
yes.
Yes. I love it. I cannot wait. This is gonna be the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna be so upset
No.
if they don't say it. I'm gonna be upset, and I'm sad about that because E3 is a pretty happy time. They're usually pretty awesome announcements. Um, I don't know. I'm just gonna be sad that I'm gonna be a little bit sad, even though there are gonna be so many cool things going
Oh,
on.
I get you. I get you completely. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to poop on people's parties. Like there are a lot of really great things that are coming. So
Yeah, that's our fallback plan, if you look at it that way.
yeah. So speaking of E3, let's go ahead and get into the last half of this podcast where we're going to be talking about E3 predictions pretty in depth. So I guess just as a overall layout, we're going to be talking about what we already know is going into this E3, what has been rumored going into this E3. We'll do a recap of our past predictions and kind of fix them as we go. And then also we'll solidify our last few predictions for the show. It's more than a few. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So as far as things that we know about going into this, there's some games. I guess I kind of kept this strictly like Nintendo based. I didn't really think of like third parties or anything.
Right.
just because it's the Nintendo presentation. I think the majority of it's going to be on their own content coming.
Right. Agreed. Hmm.
So what we know going in is Fire Emblem Switch, Yoshi, Metroid Prime 4, and then Super Smash Bros. And of course Pokemon,
Yes.
which is in the versions of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Right.
So let's quickly. Do you think they're going to show Fire Emblem at this presentation?
Yes, I think they will, and I think it's gonna get a date for this
I
year.
think so. A date for this year?
Yes.
I agree. I 100% agree because we've literally heard nothing about it. This game, out of all of them on the list, we've known about this one longer than any of them. It's been a year and a half, and uh, we don't know much about the second half of Nintendo's year.
Yes. Right.
Um,
I think this is gonna be the Xenoblade of last year, the game that they say yes, it's coming this year, and everyone is gonna be, I don't know, it doesn't. I don't know if they're gonna make it, and then I think it is gonna make it.
oh, okay. So you're thinking like December kind of release.
Right.
Cool, cool, cool. The next game, Yoshi. I think, I think they're gonna show it again.
Yes.
And just like you're saying, Fire Emblem is gonna be the Xenoblade of this year.
Mhm.
I think this one has the possibility of being the Kirby of last year,
Oh, I see.
where it's kind of like a spring release. Just because, I don't know, I guess originally, and we'll probably get to this, originally I put it in my calendar as an August release.
Mhm.
But that might be too early, because they haven't said anything. But you never know.
Right.
So what do you
Interesting.
think?
I'm thinking I'm gonna change mine to what you're saying. I think this is gonna be one of those, they announce it and it's coming out really soon because they showed it last year and they've been working on it. And not to dismiss it in any way, but it's a simple game. It's a platformer. I think it could be done and it could be announced and out in just a couple of months.
Yeah, and they've been good about making pretty solid Yoshi games. At least like Woolly World was
Yes.
solid.
Yes.
So yeah, it looks great from what they'd already shown us. Like they showed us a lot last year.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it still hit like an August date, but I could also see it being that Kirby thing.
Right. Yes.
So Metroid Prime 4, what do you think about this one? Do you think they're showing it?
I think they should. I don't know if they are, but I really think they should. It would just tie in with last year perfectly.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it will be shown, but you're for sure right about people are going to be mad if they don't see it.
Right. That's a good point.
Um, because they've been waiting even longer than we have been for Animal Crossing.
Right.
So Metroid fans are going to want to see something after a year-long silence.
Right.
So Super Smash Bros. Do you think they're showing it?
I don't know. I don't think so. No. They for sure are. I think it's getting dated, and it's. I was expecting them to show all the features, but only recently we heard that they're gonna keep something for later.
Yeah, I imagine they'll do a full direct for it later, like probably the month before release. But speaking of release, I it's coming out this year, right?
Yes.
What month do you think it'll be out in?
I'm gonna put it in November.
Oh, really? Alongside Pokemon?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. I was gonna put it for September.
That makes a lot of sense too because of the online service. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could. Smash Bros. And Pokemon could honestly come out whenever, and they would sell well.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess I'm putting it for September. But I'll be crazy though, and I'll say July. No, I'm just kidding. That would be crazy.
Right. Right. And
Um,
back when Smash Brothers came out for the Wii U, it came out on the same day as the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. So I can see, it's a big day for Nintendo. Two new Pokemon games in Smash, all for the Switch. That would be I mean, it would be definitely be the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And I think a lot of players would buy both of those games. So if they want all the money, they're
Yeah.
going to get it.
Yeah.
And then finally, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. We already have a release date for November for the
Mhm.
game. I forget what it is exactly, but do you think it's going to be shown off at all at E3?
No, I don't think so. I think that's why they did the presentation before that, and not to like say get it out of the way, but just to maybe because they just don't have the room for it, and they didn't want it to be overshadowed by other announcements.
Yeah. Um, I guess I was torn about this because on the one hand, they have like put out extensive news and people have been talking about this game coming, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but at the same time, like the way they revealed it was like this private presentation with like industry people. So it wasn't exactly the most open news, you
Right,
know?
right.
So I feel like they could get away with showing it at E3 as more of a like general public type of thing.
True. Yeah.
Um, Especially because like the concept is very general public kind of thing. Like it's definitely
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
this game's not targeting the core Pokemon audience so
Right.
much, but more of like here you go people who like Pokemon Go. Enjoy these Pokemon again in a new style adventure, you know?
Yes. Mm.
So I feel like they would show it just because of that. Just because the first way they showed it wasn't exactly a way for people who are like kind of outsiders to Pokemon to see
Mhm.
it.
Right.
So I think D3 will make it more accessible. So yeah, those are the five games that we know about. Now there are some games that are rumored. And so let's get into this. So the first rumor is that Retro Studios has been working on two games, but we've
Mhm.
only seen one of them rumored, and that is Star Fox Grand Prix. So I guess the question here is, do you think this is real?
I think something of it has to be real. So it's either both, uh, which is like a Star Fox game in the style of F-Zero, or it's just gonna be a Star Fox game on its own or an F-Zero game on its own. I think something like that has to be true of all of this.
Yeah, I guess for me, I want it to be real just because I like that racing game style,
Hmm.
where it's kind of a story, you know?
Yes. Hmm.
So I like that aspect of it. So I would not mind if it were real. But I also think like it could be a cover up for an F-Zero game, you know?
Yes.
Maybe they leaked it and were like, "Oh, look at this. We're working on a new Star Fox game that's in a style of something that Star Fox fans don't really care about."
Right. Right.
At least that's what I've gotten from just people I've heard who like Star Fox, you know.
Yes.
Um, but I'm like, I don't know. I was never a huge Star Fox fan, but I was a fan of Diddy Kong Racing, so this sounds good to me.
Right. Right. And
um,
for as for racing games, Mario Kart does it for me. I don't really play anything else, but I do want a new F-Zero for the people that have been waiting forever for a new one. I think they deserve one.
yeah, and they've probably been waiting longer than even the Metroid
Yes.
people.
Yes, for sure.
So, yeah, throw them that bone.
Yeah, even Kid Icarus got a game on the 3DS.
Yeah, it's crazy. um, so yeah, this one, I guess we'll chalk it up to we'll see. Next game, Fortnite has been rumored for Switch. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about it, and I think it's happening. To be honest, I'm not too familiar with the game, but there's been so much, with their smoke, there's fire. I think it's coming.
Yeah, I think this one, I don't see why they wouldn't put it on Switch. Like, it's already on mobile, you know,
Hmm.
like mobile devices. And so I'm like, clearly this could work on Switch. If a mobile phone can run it.
Right, right.
So and also like there aren't really games like that on the Switch that have that like battle royale style. We already
Mhm.
have Paladins coming that got leaked and then
Yes.
eventually revealed because it was leaked. um, so I think right now is a good time to enter that space on the Switch because there aren't competitors,
Right. Mhm.
So I think that's real. The
Yeah.
next one is Overcooked 2.
Yeah.
Uh, do you
I'm
think
just
this
gonna,
one's real?
yeah, I'm gonna say yes because, we got the first one and it did surprisingly well. Anybody that got it really liked it and recommended it. So yeah, I can see it happening.
I got it and I really liked it and I
Yes.
recommend it. But wait to see if Overcooked 2 is real because maybe just buy that one
Right.
instead. But Overcooked is fun. It's a good time, good party game.
Yep.
The next one is Dragon Ball Fighters, which everyone calls Dragon Ball Fighter Z, but I think it's officially called Fighters.
The fighters. Yeah.
Yeah, with the capital Z at the
Right.
end.
I love it.
So what do you think?
I really hope so. I guess the only hesitation I have is if the Switch can handle it, but if it can, I don't see why not. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it too. I mean, why not? The Switch actually has like a lot of fighting games. Um, so I think why not add it
Yeah,
and see
right.
how it does.
And it got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and a lot of Nintendo gamers didn't have a lot of Dragon Ball games before, so they were introduced to Dragon Ball with that game and then you can give them Fighters Z next time.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
The next one is Killer Queen Black, which I hadn't heard about before, but I kind of looked into it a bit. But it's like an arcade game that is multiplayer. I think it was like 8 players or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know much about it outside of like this game was pretty much only available as like a cabinet, like big arcade thing.
Right, right.
So it seems interesting. I don't know, but so far this list or the games that I'm saying from this list are all from like a leaked E3 floor.
Yes.
Um, or what I mean by that is like Nintendo's booth. I don't know why they call it a booth, but Nintendo's booth at E3 is going to have like these games playable.
Right.
Starfox Grand Prix wasn't part of that, but Fortnite, Overcooked 2, Dragon Ball Fighters, and Killer Queen Black were all part of that list, but it looked pretty real. It seems like a lot of people who have gone to E3 and everything were like, oh, that looks like a thing that you would see at E3 as like a guide of games that you could
Right.
play.
Right.
The last thing I had written was Spyro.
Yes.
This got announced recently for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but mysteriously the Nintendo Switch was missing from
Right.
this announcement. Do you think they're going to finally say that it's coming to Switch?
I think so, and I think they've been waiting because he's gonna be in Smash.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that would
I
be the
agree with
perfect
that.
way to announce both.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that because because I feel like the Nintendo UK site kind of early on listed Spyro as a game that was coming.
Yes, that's right.
And maybe they messed it up a little, but yeah, I think you're right. I think they may be announcing Spyro for Smash.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, which would be I like it. I think Spyro's cool.
Yeah, but we talked on Discord that it would be pretty devastating for people that have been wanting Ridley, and they're gonna get another purple dinosaur before that.
That's true. They're always asking for Ridley. Poor guy. So yeah, those are all of essentially the games that we know are coming and the games that are rumored to be showing up. So let's go ahead. I wanted to quickly recap our predictions because we made some early on, right?
Yes.
So mine, really quickly, I said we're going to see nothing on 3DS, at least until the Treehouse. Octo expansion for Splatoon 2 is going to get released on July 21st to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the game. The Smash Invitational, I think, will have 2 new characters, specifically Nintendo ones that don't include the Inklings. One's going to be Snip and Clip from Snipper Clips, and the other is going to be Isabelle from Animal Crossing, of course. I think we'll get... Oh, I kind of put a I guess, order of when we'd see the games. And I said, I
Mhm.
think we'll get Yoshi in August, Smash in September, Fire Emblem in October, and Pokemon in November.
Ah, you got that
Um,
one.
Pokemon in November is already correct. So pretty good. Maybe let's keep this the same. Maybe I'm right. Yoshi in August, Smash in September, Fire Emblem in October,
Ah.
which means December. Sounds like there's room for
Oh.
Animal Crossing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And then I said, I think we're going to see a new Ice Climbers games from Retro. If the rumors are true and we're getting Starfox, the second game could still be Ice Climbers.
True, true.
We'll see. And then I also said, I think we'll see a Mario Party game, probably Mario Party 11. I was listening to other E3 predictions, and Roger's Base mentioned that he already sees the 11 logo being two Joy-Cons.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, that's brilliant. It's got to happen now. Mario Party 11 with two Joy-Cons. You got it.
Yeah.
Winner. And then I said, the last one, I said, I think they're going to announce Animal Crossing and not give us a date, but we're going to get a trailer, and it's going to be a beautiful trailer
Right.
that will make me cry. And I'm going to watch it 20 times a day.
At least.
At least, like minimum. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. Did you want to give a recap of your predictions?
Yes. So before our updated predictions from today, I had Smash for November. I guess I said I still do. So yeah, that makes sense. You know, the Friday before Thanksgiving, and I was guessing we're gonna get new and returning characters shown at E3, and yeah, I think we're gonna see that. Also, Yoshi dated for September or for October. Like I say nowadays, I'm thinking it might be August in a crazy way. It might even be July. But yeah, I see it earlier than I had originally said. I also predicted Fire Emblem is finally shown and dated for December. I'm sticking with that. And a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game for the 3DS. I had predicted that. I want to redact that one because I think if that
Oh,
was happening, they would have announced it during the Pokemon conference that we had recently, just to cover all the new Pokemon games. You know.
yeah, that's totally true. I'm sad about that one.
I hope it still happens.
Yeah, I'd like to see a mystery dungeon. Um, just
It,
again,
yeah,
because I like those games. They're really fun.
and they could even work on the Switch. They don't have to stick with the 3DS.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we gotta. Everything should be on the Switch now, forever, because it's the perfect console for things.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess that'll bring us into our updated predictions, right?
Yes.
All right, so I guess I'll start. Right now, Nintendo's been kind of saying that they're gonna talk about 2018 games, right?
Right.
My first prediction is that we're gonna see games that are beyond 2018. I'm talking 2019, maybe even 2020. We'll see. But
So you're saying
I think
Nintendo? I predict you're lying.
yes, 100% they're lying. Those
Right.
dang liars. So yeah, that's my first one. The next one, I I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw this right in there because this is what we're here for. Animal Crossing trailer. I'm updating my prediction. I'm saying there's gonna be an Animal Crossing trailer. It's gonna say it's coming in 2019, and they're gonna say stay tuned for a direct early next year.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and predict it's gonna be like a spring game this time around.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, please.
Hopefully, you know.
The next one, I was gonna say this. I had it written down, but then this actually just got announced. But Tails, I was gonna predict a Tails game. This is kind of third party, but I love Tails. Um, but it just got announced. Tales of Vesperia is coming to Nintendo Switch, and I don't know if it got a date or anything, but I saw the headline, so we're
Right.
getting a Tails game. Those are really fun, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, the next thing I'm gonna predict, we're gonna see Fire Emblem Switch, and it's going to bring back Ike for a third game, even though, sorry for the kind of spoilers, but at the end, Ike was said to disappear and never return, right? That was kind of his thing. Like, he goes away, he doesn't fight anymore, at least not with his friends.
Right.
But I'm predicting that he is coming back, and it's to keep him relevant for Smash on the Switch.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Next, I predict that Pikmin 4 is finally going to get a trailer because they've told us forever ago that Pikmin 4 was almost ready. And I'm like, well,
True.
here's a new console for a Pikmin game. Give it to us. We're
Yes,
ready.
right.
We're ready. I think that's all they were waiting for a new console.
Yeah.
And last year was pretty busy with those hard hitters like Zelda and
Yes,
Mario,
right.
you know? So there wasn't room then, but now there's room for Pikmin 4. That's also, I'm predicting, for 2019.
Okay.
This next one, I'm going to predict that Luigi's Mansion is also coming to Switch, just like Sushi Striker. Because originally, Sushi Striker, which just came out for Switch and 3DS, originally that game was only announced for 3DS, but they changed their mind because they knew that nobody liked the 3DS anymore, and they want all their games on the Switch. So Luigi's Mansion HD remake.
Nice. I like it.
And then my last prediction is Xenoblade Chronicles X2. Or just a port of X from the Wii U because nobody played it.
True.
But yeah, I think Xenoblade is going to show up in the form of X.
And for next year, right? Or maybe not even dated.
I'll say not dated.
Right.
Yeah, just that it's on its way. Yeah. And you know what? I forgot another one. I think... No, are they... No, I'm not going to predict this. Never mind. I was going to say a Metroid Prime trilogy re-release, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think it would make a lot of sense to get people ready for 4.
That's true. And you know what? Since I'm predicting they're not going to show Metroid, I'm going to say they're going to do a Metroid Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Just all three of them. A HD remake of them.
Right. Yeah, we're not ready to show you 4, but we're bringing a remaster of the first 3.
Yeah, and Retro was working on that too. They did both they were busy with Tropical Freeze and a Metroid Prime trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they haven't shown us any games.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yep. So that those are my guesses for this E3. So yeah, you can give us yours now.
All right, sounds good. And for the record, I did mine without reading yours first. So this is going to sound a little familiar, but for Animal Crossing, I'm predicting a trailer. Either I'm hoping for a trailer for itself, or maybe part of a sizzle reel if they do one of those this year. Either way, I think it's going to get announced for 2019, just generic. And they're going to say stay tuned for a Nintendo Direct, but I think that Direct is going to happen this year instead of what you said was next year.
Oh, that is pretty familiar.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, and finally we're going to know something, and then we're going to know when we're going to know more. Right. So that's for Animal Crossing. As far as other Nintendo predictions, this is sort of a cop-out because I know you talked about this one, but yeah, I am predicting another Labo set. Either a generic new one with new items, or finally series-specific Labo sets like a Mario one or a Zelda one that you build things that are related to those franchises.
Yeah, I like this one. I want to see more. I want to see what else they've come up with Labo. And I guess I left that out of mine a bit, but I mentioned it before.
Right.
You've mentioned it before, but yeah, like there's still things from that Labo commercial that we haven't seen sets for.
Right, that's right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they showed us like a variety kit number 2.
Right. Right. Next one on my list, I'm thinking they're gonna show a little bit of Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game. I'm not necessarily hoping that they show it. I would prefer if they focused on Switch and Switch in, or maybe a little bit of 3DS, not necessarily too much mobile. But I think since they're working on it and it's Mario, I think they're gonna show a little bit of it.
I wonder if they'll show mobile games. I feel like they avoided them in the past, like at E3 and like
Yes,
bigger conventions, but I think Mario Kart's huge for them, so
right,
I wouldn't put it past them.
right. I think if they're really trying to put mobile as a big part of their income and their focus, I think they could show, a little bit. It's not gonna be a huge part of E3, but I think they could get away with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I also see them showing a couple more details on the Nintendo Switch Online service that is coming in September. I think they're gonna give us a couple little extra features that we're gonna get with the paid subscription, including I'm predicting they're gonna show the addition of Game Boy games, the original Game Boy,
Oh, that would be awesome.
because they already announced NES. I think Game Boy would be awesome to also play and then sort of stream and then have people take over your friends.
And also, like, because one of the big things with it is like being able to kind of play online with people on
Right.
those games. And so the Game Boy would be very cool to do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because that had a link cable, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't believe they were already connecting with
Yeah.
like their first iteration of a handheld device.
Right.
They nailed it.
Yep.
That's why they've always owned the handheld held market.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
True. True. Now, for Zelda, I think it's too early to show a really, fully fledged game, but I'm hoping and I'm predicting that they're gonna announce a new Four Swords game for the Switch.
Yes, 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 yes. I loved Four Swords Adventure so much on the GameCube. And I actually had like four of the Game Boy Advance cables,
Yes.
and got together with four people to play it, and it was so much fun.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
That game and Crystal Chronicles. Oh, I love them.
Oh, I always wanted to play that one.
Yeah. I love this. This is my favorite.
Yeah,
No,
I think it's
Animal Crossing's my favorite, but
true.
this one's close second.
True, true. Yeah, I think it would be perfect because we got Breath of the Wild, arguably the best Zelda game to date. I think it would be a nice change of pace to bring back Four Swords, and especially on the Switch, and give us something more to do with multiplayer.
Yeah, and I think people right now are kind of worried of like what the fate is of those like top-down Zelda games. Um,
Right.
just because, the 3DS doesn't seem like the place to release them anymore, and they're not sure if it's going to be something that comes to the Switch at this point.
Right. I think it would be perfect, and they could make it look like a link between worlds. So it's not necessarily 2D sprite based, but even that, I mean, I would have no complaints either way.
Yeah.
And my last prediction, sort of a big one. I think we're gonna see Banjo and Kazooie announced for the next Smash Brothers game.
Yes, this is my new second favorite. I love Banjo-Kazooie. Those were my favorite games on N64. Yeah, I've got to see that.
Yeah, and when we're recording earlier today, we just saw the Microsoft press conference, and there was no talk of Conquer or Banjo Kazooie. I think they deserve something, and what better way than to bring them back to the Nintendo environment and have them in Smash?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'd like to see. They've always had such a great move set. They're gonna be great.
Oh yeah,
They're a perfect fit for the game,
yes,
really.
yes.
So I need to see them in it. um, so yeah, I guess I'm just really hoping that this is the year we see Animal Crossing. It's been so long, and if it doesn't happen, I guess what do you think? What do you think's happening if it doesn't happen?
I think we're just gonna be waiting for a Nintendo Direct. I hope it's not one of those that you wake up and it's already out there. I think they should promote it and tell us that it's coming in a week or so when they're finally ready to announce it. But I think they're late. I've always said Nintendo's late announcing the next Animal Crossing. So if they don't show it at E3, I think they're still late, and any day something big could happen.
Yeah, I think if they don't show it at E3, which at this point is tomorrow, if they don't show it, I feel like it's gonna just show up in 2019. I don't think they'll do it in like a surprise direct, you know?
Hmm.
I think it'll still be one that's like, oh, everybody, there's a direct in 2 days, be ready. And and then they'll show it like in 2019.
Hmm.
But at that point, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't expect to see it this year if we don't see it at E3.
Ah, I don't want to be playing Pocket Camp that much.
Yeah, I wonder what I'm gonna do because I've been kind of like drifting away from Pocket Camp the past like month or so,
Right,
and I think it's just mostly because I'm excited for the next game.
right.
Like, yeah, and Pocket Camp, I don't know, it's nice, but somehow it's too busy. There's too much going on. It's kind of demanding,
Oh, it is.
but
It is for
also
sure.
so repetitive in the way it's demanding. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, it just doesn't have the same variety and depth that an Animal Crossing game has. So
Right.
I don't know if I'll like drift further away from it or to it when if they don't announce it, but we'll find out very soon because
Yeah.
it's right around the corner.
Yeah, either way, things are changing soon and hopefully for the best, but there's change coming.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking if they don't announce it, we're out of luck. I don't think we're gonna see it in
Uh,
2018. I think it's unfortunate,
yeah, yeah.
but I would also kind of like I'd probably question like how close Animal Crossing is. Um,
Hmm.
because if they don't announce it this year, I would expect it to be announced in early 2019 if it is coming out in 2019.
Oh, yes, right.
Um, Otherwise, if we're waiting till E3 of 2019 once
Oh my
again,
God.
I think it's going to be a 2020 game. But
No.
but right now, I'm tied to the idea of it being a 2019 game.
Right.
Um, but I'll be sad. I'll be very sad.
How likely do you believe it might be announced and released by December of this year?
mm, I think that's pretty low for me. By December, I would give it maybe like, I don't know, 7% chance.
Okay.
Pretty low, like less than 10% for me.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I was gonna say 10%, but imagine how happy we would be if it does happen.
I would, no question, I would be ecstatic. I'd be so ready for that. But, but I don't know. Did if you watched my last episode of Is It Time for Animal Crossing Switch? I kind of said this, and it's along the lines of like Super Smash Bros. Already got that like big surprise release this year
Hmm.
announcement. You know, I don't think they'd do that twice in one year. I think like Smash Bros. Has already used up that slot where
Yes,
it's like,
right.
oh, here's the big surprise. Here's Smash Bros. And guess what? It's coming this year. I don't think they'd do that to Animal Crossing halfway through 2018, you
Hmm.
know? Um, yeah, I just feel like at this point they've got a lot of games coming out. They're pretty steadily, you know? Um, but yeah, next year they have so much to fill. This year, I feel like going into E3, like we already know about a lot.
True.
Um, and a lot of these games could easily like fill up the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But next year, like there's so much to fill. I'd be really surprised if they didn't show it by early next year.
Yes.
Um,
Right.
and if we got to like E3 by next year and they didn't show Animal Crossing, I'd feel like, yeah, this is 2020.
Oh man.
Um, it's
I
not
hope not.
close.
Right. I'm just thinking it would be great if they start announcing it and they say 3 days ago was the fifth anniversary of New Leaf. and here you go. Here's a new Animal Crossing, and then if we are lucky and we get that 10%, they'll say, "Hey, you don't have to wait too long. It's coming this December." But I'm with you. I think I really want to see it tomorrow, and I really want to know that it's coming in 2019.
Yes. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
At this point, I just want to know.
Yeah.
Tell me you're working on it. Tell me it's coming next year, and I'll be happy. That's
Yeah.
all I need.
That's it. You can save the rest in the talking about the features in a direct down the line, but just tell me that tomorrow, please.
Yeah, I won't even be able to comprehend the rest of it because I'll just be like, this was amazing. That's all I needed.
Right, right.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget about our live show tomorrow, June 12th. We will be starting right after Nintendo's E3 Direct, and we will either be crying of happiness or crying of sadness. So be sure to join the Discord to listen to that live show. If you want to be part of the conversation on all things Animal Crossing, of course, join the Discord again. I have a link in the description. I'm going to keep pumping it because it's great. But yeah, you can have your voice heard just like earlier this episode where we talked about people's experiences of playing New Leaf. And if you want to become a patron, visit patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. For just $1, you can support our show and get tons of cool things like my friend codes on 3DS, Wii U, Switch. You want my Switch code because you're going to play Animal Crossing with me and you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. But you can have your thoughts shared on the podcast in super cool ways, and you can get some art from Sergio, and we just try to make it really worth it for you because we really appreciate your support. And if you're watching or listening on YouTube, leave a comment about something you loved about New Leaf. I love reading all of the comments from people. It's super fun. I feel like I respond to pretty much everyone because I like that. And then please leave a review of the show wherever you are listening. It helps us gain some visibility and allows the community to grow. And once again, thank you all for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we hope you have a great tomorrow. Please, please, please. Bye.